Well, hello, friends. Pro-life leader Frank Pavone here, bringing you my daily diary segment. Now, today we're going to cover the days from December the 12th through December the 15th of 2024. What did I do? So on Thursday, December 12th, it was we were still in the midst of our December pastoral team meeting. Really great experiences for us, bringing the team together from various parts of the nation. And we were here, of course, for our Christmas celebration. So I started out early that day. I had a morning meeting with our videographer here in the studio. And then it was at 7:30. And then at 8:25, I had a national news interview right here in the studio as well. Then we got together with staff for our morning briefing. Later, actually, they didn't come in until 10. We gave them a little extra time since we had our Christmas party the night before. But prior to them coming in, I did a little cleaning up both inside and outside and prepared some tapings for the day and for the weekend, and also did some desk work. Among the things I had to deal with in terms of topics: social media posts, civil rights for the unborn, the section of our ministry that Alveda King heads up. Preparing for a video regarding the anniversary of the unjustified and unjustifiable action of the Vatican against my priesthood. Trip plans being made for upcoming travels, broadcasts being prepared. Let's see, approvals being done for faxes going out to the churches across America. A prayer service preparation, that's the National Prayer Service in January. Communication with state leaders about work we are doing with them. The transition prayers for this time between election and inauguration. And we'll work on the West Coast Walk for Life that's coming up. Very good staff briefing at 10, followed by meetings with our technology department, with our website and communications departments, and our correspondence department. Then 10:45, I had a meeting in Mark's office together with two of our other staff members, working again on tasks for the day and upcoming projects. At 11 o'clock, I was back here in the studio with Father Dennis Wild, our priest associate, and we taped a couple of programs. Also had him taping some more spots, and I did some special spots too. And then, let's see, I went to lunch with Father Dennis. Brought him for a lunch, working lunch, good updating of one another. Came back, and then at 1 o'clock, a little bit more studio activity, some further spots that we had to have some staff people tape, especially those here from out of town. At 2 o'clock, went into one of the conference rooms and had a meeting with the data team, and this involves people that work in various locations, oversee the integrity of our data. Met with them for close to an hour, and then at 3 o'clock was driven to the airport together with a couple of other members of our team, all of us catching flights. The flight I was catching, and we'll switch over to this other schedule now, was going out to Phoenix, Arizona, the National Association of Christian Lawmakers. So a long flight, did work on the plane, working on end-of-year tasks and emails and so forth. When I got there, I was taken to this convention center hotel that we were staying at, and I was so favorably impressed, surprised by this elaborate Christmas display. It's one of the best Christmas extravaganzas in the Southwest, and they had just the entire property covered with lights and people coming like from the general public like for a festival. It was really nice to see. But I was tired by the time I got there, so I basically went right to bed, but it was very nice to see as I was arriving. The next day, Friday the 13th, I was engaged in these meetings with state legislators, and I'm an advisor for this group, the National Association of Christian Lawmakers. So we had a regular conference. I have the schedule here. We started early in the morning. I was just networking with people for most of the morning, greeting individually other leaders and legislators that I know, and side meetings for projects and plans for the coming year. But then there were presentations also going on, so obviously I went in, took part in those different presentations, listened to the different experts giving talks, and the discussions and the resolutions. This group makes resolutions, crafts model policies, and so forth. And in the afternoon, I was part of the panel presenting to these legislators on pro-life topics. And many of them follow our work already, and I gave an update on what happened with these state ballot measures. You know all the work we did on that, and then moving forward, what do we do next? And I was very happy to give that presentation. Checked in with my office later in the afternoon, and then we had a nice dinner and awards banquet that night. Went right into late into the evening. As far as checking in with my office and with my emails, a letter of support from Cardinal Martino, who recently passed away. We were publicizing that. Special webpage called Frank Pavone Daily, where you can follow everything that I put out, whether it's a broadcast or an opinion piece or social media, all in one place. Preparing for a visit from another leader, doing work on our Radio Maria program, fostering co-sponsors for the National Prayer Service, approving emails, finalizing work on our essay contest, preparing for the Catholic Leadership Conference, some communication about that, and inauguration activities on the horizon. Those were some of the topics of the work I did at my computer. Then we came to Saturday, December 14th. Again, the National Association for Christian Lawmakers was in progress, interacted with them. I also had a lot of work to do at my desk, on the phone, interacting with staff, having a morning phone call with our videographer to go over progress that had just been made in the previous days during our pastoral team meeting, and communication with a bunch of other leaders and staff about upcoming projects. So a couple of hours of work on that, and then continued interaction with the folks of this association. Some of the things I had to do on my email included the, airport rides, planning for upcoming trips, editing of spots, transition prayers, DC events coming up in January, the election calendar. There are things to be put on there for the transition period and also for the 2025 elections that are taking place in various places. Preparation for the February leadership meeting, the essay contest. Wisconsin Supreme Court election is an important thing on the calendar for April. Opinion pieces, preparation for that, preparing for an interview with one of the electors from Florida. The electors meet in December to formally elect the president. Plans for the inauguration and plans for Deacons for Life. And then the evening awards banquet. Charlie Kirk, had a chance to catch up again with him, and wonderful speeches and celebration at night of everyone being there. I gave the concluding prayer at that banquet as well. And then came Sunday the 15th, early Uber ride to the airport, early as in 5:15 a.m. Went to the Phoenix airport, was already doing work on my computer. I had to communicate about inauguration activities, the Frank Pavone Daily page, co-sponsors for the prayer service, the broadcast schedule for the coming week, the transition prayers, and also some communication with Sister Dee Dee about her new book. But then in the midst of all of this, I got on the plane, worked on the plane all the way back from Phoenix to Orlando, arrived in Orlando, and was picked up by a friend and her husband. We had lunch together, and then they brought me back over to Titusville, where my office is. We had lunch at a nearby restaurant there, caught up on a lot of things, and I'm helping them with a couple of matters. And then did a couple hours of work at my office, settling back in from the trip, catching up on messages that were waiting for me. And then at 6 p.m., went back to that same restaurant, actually, and had a dinner meeting with a local political activist as well as an expert on the Middle East. That was a very interesting, he's an author and just an influencer for peace, and has advised President Trump on Middle Eastern policy. Very, very interesting dinner conversation there, and very happy to do that. Came back, did some more quiet work, had to get some cards sent out, and concluded the day. So that's what I did from the 12th to the 15th of December of 2024. Hope your days are fruitful, blessed, and happy. Keep in contact, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hello, this is Father David Begany. Like many priests, I am inspired and always learning from the Ministry of Priests for Life, which is one of the largest and most visible pro-life organizations in the world. This ministry relies on your financial support to be able to do its work, produce its programs, and travel the world to advocate for the unborn. May I ask you to support Priests for Life generously? Go today to prolifegift.org and give as generous a gift as you can. Thank you so much, and be assured of our daily prayers for you.